This is the evolution of cosmetics through ages. History of cosmetics from ancient times. Civilizations have used cosmetics, though not always recognizable compared to today's advanced products, for centuries in religious rituals to enhance beauty and to promote good health. Cosmetics usage throughout history can be indicative of a civilization's practical concerns, such as protection from the sun, indication of class, or conventions of beauty. The timeline below represents a brief history of cosmetics, beginning with the ancient Egyptian in 10,000 BCE. Through modern developments in the United States, you can use the following navigation to jump to specific points in the time. Cosmetics in the ancient world. 10,000 BCE. Cosmetics are an integral part of Egyptian hygiene and health. Men and women in Egypt use scented oils and ointments to clean and soften their skin and mask body odor. Oils and creams are used for protection against the hot Egyptian sun and dry winds. Myrrh, thyme, marjoram, chamomile, lavender, lily, peppermint, rosemary, cedar, rose, aloe, olive oil, sesame oil, and almond oil provide the basic ingredients of the most perfume Egyptians use in religious rituals. 4000 BCE. Egyptian women apply galena medemet made of copper and core, and malachite, bright green paste of copper minerals, to their faces for color and definition. They use coal, a combination of burnt almonds, oxidized copper, different colored coppers, cores, lead ash, and ore to adorn the eyes in the almond shape. Women carry cosmetics to parties in makeup boxes and keep them under their chairs. 3000 BCE. The Chinese stained their fingernails with gum, Arabic, gelatin, beeswax, and egg. The color are used as a representation of social class. Chow dynasty, royals wear gold and silver, with subsequent royal wearing black or red. Lower classes are forbidden to wear bright colors on their nails. Grecian women paint their faces with white lead and apply crushed mulberries as rouge. The application of fake eyebrows, often made of oxen hair, is also fashionable. 1500 BCE. Chinese and Japanese citizens commonly use rice powder to make their faces white. Eyebrows are shaved off, teeth are painted gold or black, and hyena dyes are applied to stain hair and faces. 1000 BCE. Grecians whitened their complexions with chalk or lead face powder and fashioned crown lipstick out of ochre clays laced with red iron. Cosmetics in the early Common Era. 100 CE. In Rome, people put barley flour and butter on their pimples and shift fat and blood on their fingernails for polish. In addition, mud baths come into vogue, and some Roman men dyed their hair blonde. 300 to 400 CE. Henna is used in India both as a hair dye and in Mehndi, an art form in which complex designs are painted on their hands and feet using a paste made from henna plant, especially before a Hindu wedding. Henna is also used in some North African cultures. Cosmetics in Middle Ages. 1200. Perfumes are first imported to Europe from the Middle East as a result of the Crusades. 1300. In Elizabethan England, dyed red hair comes into fashion. Society women wear egg whites over their faces to create the appearance of a paler complexion. Some people believe, however, that cosmetics block proper circulation and therefore pose a health threat. Renaissance cosmetics. 400 to 1500. Italy and France emerged as the main centers of cosmetics manufacturing in Europe, and only the aristocracy has access. Arsenic is sometimes used in face powder instead of lead. The modern notion of complex scent making involves in France. Early fragrances and amalgams of naturally occurring ingredients, later chemically processes from combining and testing scents, surpassed their arduous and labor-intensive predecessors. 1500 to 1600. European women often attempt to lighten their skin using a variety of products, including white lead paint. Queen Elizabeth I of England is one well-known user of white lead, which she creates a look known as the Mask of Youth. Blonde hair rises in popularity as it considered angelic. Mixtures of black sulfur, alum, and honey are painted onto the hair and lightened with sun exposure. 19th and early 20th century global cosmetics developments. 1800. Zinc oxide becomes widely used as a facial powder, replacing the previously used deadly mixtures of lead and copper. One such mixture, cerus, which is made from white lead, is later discovered to be toxic and blamed for health problems including facial tremors, muscle paralysis, and even death. Queen Victoria publicly declares makeup improper. It is viewed as vulgar and acceptable only for use by actors. 1900. In Edwardian society, pressure increases on middle-aged women to appear youthful while acting as a hostesses. As a result, cosmetics use increases, but is not yet completely popularized. Beauty salons rise in popularity, though patronage of such salons is not widely accepted, because many women do not wish to publicly admit that they have assistants achieving their youthful appearances. They often enter salons through the back door. Importance of cosmetics industry developments in the United States. From its earliest days, the United States has been at the forefront of the cosmetics innovation, entrepreneurship, and regulation. The timeline below represents a brief history of the important developments and American usage trends, as well as the regulatory history of cosmetics in the U.S.
Growth of the industry. 1886. David McConnell founds the California Perfume Company, then located in New York. 1894. The extremely competitive nature of the industry drives a group led by New York perfumer Henry Daly to found the Manufacturing Perfumers Association. The group evolved over time and after several name changes is now known as the Personal Care Products Council. 1900s. The number of U.S. firms manufacturing perfumery and toilet goods increases from 67 to 262. By 1900s, cosmetics are in widespread use around the world, including the United States. 7. Eugene Schuller, a young French chemist, invents modern synthetic hair dye, which he calls Oriel. 1910. American women began to fashion their own form of mascara by applying beads of wax to their eyelashes. World War I and aftermath. 1914. The onset of World War I leads to increased employment among American women. This gain in disposable income, with more discretion over its use, leads to a boom in domestic cosmetics sales. 1915. Chemist T. L. Williams creates Maybelline mascara for his sister Mabel, the product's inspiration. 1919. Congress passes the 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, commonly known as Prohibition. As originally drafted, the amendment might have outlawed perfumes and toilet goods because of their alcohol content. Roaring 20s. 1920. The flapper look comes into fashion for the first time, and with it increased cosmetics use, dark eyes, red lipstick, red nail polish, and the suntan, which is first noted as a fashion statement by Coco Chanel. Cosmetics and fragrances are manufactured and mass-marketed in America for the first time. 1920 to 1930, the first liquid nail polish, several forms of modern base, powdered blushes, and the powder compact are introduced. 1922, the Manufacturing Perfumers Association changes its name to the American Manufacturers of Toilet Articles. 1928, Max Factor, now living in Hollywood, unveils the very first lip gloss. 1929, a pound of face powder was sold annually for every woman in the US, and there were more than 1,500 face creams on the market. 1930, due to the influence of movie stars, the Hollywood tan look emerges and adds to the desire for tan skin, first made popular by fashion designer Coco Chanel, who accidentally got sunburned visiting the French River in 1923. When she arrived home, her fans apparently liked the look and started to adopt darker skin tones themselves. 1932. In the midst of the Great Depression, brothers Charles and Joseph Revson, along with chemist Karl Lachmann, found Revlon after discovering a unique manufacturing process for nail enamel using pigments instead of dyes. This is a multi-million-dollar corporation within just 6 years. 1935, Max Factor develops and introduces pancake makeup to meet the unique requirements of Technicolor film, When actresses started taking it home for personal use, he realized his new invention looked wonderful both on and off camera and decided to introduce pancake makeup to the general retail trade. 1936, Eugene Schuller, founder of L'Oreal, invents the first sunscreen. Despite its relative ineffectiveness, this development leads to the invention of glacier cream by Austrian scientist Franz Gruyter. 1938, cosmetics were excluded from the Pure Food and Drug Act of 1906 because they were not considered a serious public health concern. World War II and aftermath. 1940, leg makeup is developed in response to a shortage of stockings during World War II. The FDA is transferred from the Department of Agriculture to the Federal Security Agency, and Walter J. Campbell is appointed as the first Commissioner of Food and Drugs. 1949, companies such as Procter & Gamble, who made products such as soap and laundry detergents, began to sponsor daytime television programs that will eventually be called soap operas, the first of which was called These Are My Children. The modern era of cosmetics. 1950. The modern era of the cosmetics business begins as television advertising is first implemented in earnest. 1952. Mom, the first company to commercially market deodorant, launches the first roll-on deodorant under the brand name of Ban Roll-On, which is inspired by the design of another recently invented product, the ballpoint pen. 1955. Crest, the first toothpaste with fluoride clinically proven to fight cavities, is introduced by Procter & Gamble.
1960. Congress passes the Color Additive Amendments in response to an outbreak of illnesses in children caused by an orange Halloween candy, which requires manufacturers to establish the safety of color additives in foods, drugs, and cosmetics. 1965. The first aerosol deodorant is introduced. 1966. Congress enacts the Fair Packaging and Labeling Act, which requires all consumer products in interstate commerce to be honestly and informatively labeled, with FDA enforcing provisions on foods, drugs, cosmetics, and medical devices.
The 1970s.
1970, the Toilet Goods Association changes its name to the Cosmetic, Toiletry, and Fragrance Association. 1971, in response to a citizen petition filed by the City FA, the FDA Office of Colors and Cosmetics established the Voluntary Cosmetic Reporting Program. In 1971, the VCRP is an FDA post-market reporting system for use by manufacturers, packers, and distributors of cosmetic products that are in commercial distribution in the United States. 1973, CTFA establishes the International Cosmetic Ingredient Nomenclature Committee, or INC, comprised of dedicated scientists from industry, academia, regulatory authorities, and sister trade associations to develop and assign uniform names for cosmetic ingredients. 1976, CTFA, with the support of the FDA and the Consumer Federation of America, establishes the Cosmetic Ingredient Review (CIR) Expert Panel. The goal of the CIR is to bring together worldwide published and unpublished data on the safety of cosmetics ingredients and for an independent expert panel to subsequently review that data. 1980, the 80s saw a dramatic change from previous decades where women typically wore makeup that was natural and light. Instead, the new order of the day was to experiment with heavy layers of bold, bright colors. Gone was the golden glow of the 70s, replaced by foundation that was 1 or 2 shades lighter than women's natural skin tone. Smoky eyes in bright colors such as fuchsia, electric blue, orange, and green were hugely popular. 1981, PCPC donates $1 million to fund a national center for the development of alternatives to animal testing. The Johns Hopkins School Center for Alternatives to Animal Testing. Its mission is to promote and support research in animal testing alternatives. 1989, Look Good Feel Better is founded by the Look Good Feel Better Foundation, formerly the Personal Care Products, a charitable organization established by CTFA to help hundreds of thousands of women with cancer by improving their self-esteem and confidence. Lessons in skin and nail care, cosmetics, and accessories to address the appearance-related side effects of treatment. The 1990s. 1990, animal testing for cosmetics continues to be a hot topic in the beauty industry, driven by consumer preferences. In June 1989, Avon became the first major cosmetics company in the world to announce a permanent end to animal testing of its products, including testing done in outside laboratories. 1999, the first ever cosmetics harmonization and international cooperation meeting is held in Brussels, Belgium. 2000. Consumers in the early 2000s, days of work and home life became more stressful and hectic. Cosmetics and personal care products that emphasize relaxation but which could still be used quickly constituted a strong category within the industry. Among these products are aromatherapy, scented body washes, as well as other liquid and gel soaps, which start to replace traditional bar soaps. 2004, the European Union implements an animal testing ban on finished cosmetics products. 2006, the CTFA develops the Consumer Commitment Code, which highlights the voluntary, proactive, and responsible approach to product safety supported by cosmetics companies. 2007, the Cosmetic, Toiletry, and Fragrance Association changes its name to the Personal Care Products Council. PCPC supports numerous legislative initiatives in the states of California, Massachusetts, and New York, and launches cosmetics info that form to assist consumers in understanding products they use, as well as the industry. 2009, the European Commission issues regulation governing product claims, protecting consumers from misleading claims concerning efficacy and other characteristics of cosmetic products. 2010, PCPC commissions a study to help quantify the important contributions of cosmetics industry makes to the economy and society. 2012, PCPC begins working with FDA and congressional staff on a multi-year process to develop a framework for cosmetics reform legislation that would strengthen FDA oversight and provide for national uniformity and preemption of disparate state cosmetic regulations. 2015, due to rising concerns about the potential environmental impacts, the cosmetics industry supports the enactment of the Microbead-Free Waters Act, which prohibits the manufacture and sale of rinse-off cosmetics that contain intentionally added plastic microbeads. 2016, PCPC successfully petitions FDA to issue draft guidance for lead impurities in lip products and externally applied cosmetics, providing critical regulatory certainty consistent within international policies. 2017, CIR completes scientific safety assessments of 5.278 ingredients since the program began. Findings continue to be published in International Journal of Toxicology. 2018, faced with legislation in California to ban animal testing that would have prevented U.S. companies from access to certain international markets, PCPC builds an integrated multi-faceted strategy to successfully modify and enact the California Cruelty-Free Cosmetics Acts.